Good morning, sir. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Is it morning?
Good afternoon. Sorry, sir.
Please take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
Neeraj,
Yes, sir.
when is your interview?
Date has been not announced so far.
Not okay. Okay, let us start with Madhubani because your parents belong to and you also belong to Madhubani?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is a geographical indicator?
Geographical indicator is a tag given to the product that is specific to that place with related to its origin, specific qualities and quantities.
So, which are the important geographical indicators for Bihar?
Sir, recently the Mithila Makhana got the GI tag and Madhubani painting, Sahi Lychee from Muzaffarpur. That.
Okay, good. How do you define sex ratio?
Sex ratio is defined as the number of female per thousand male.
Okay, and what is the sex ratio according to the last census, 2011?
Sorry, sir, I am not able to.
And what is the sex ratio of Bihar?
It's 918 female per thousand male.
918. Okay. Tell me something about Internet of Things. What is Internet of Things? What do you understand by Internet of Things?
Sir, Internet of Things, a new emerging technology that making people like convenient, and these are based on the data and control. The systems are controlled through the data and remote control is being done of things.
Can you give some examples?
Sir, for example, if I am I'm coming from office to home and I need a hot water, so I can on my geyser from that place only through the Internet of Things, or I can light up my bulb before entering my house.
Okay. What is the MPC? Have you heard of the MPC? With regard to the RBI, MPC.
Yes, sir.
Now, what is it?
Monetary Policy Committee.
Whom does it comprise of?
It comprise of RBI governor, 3 members from government and 3 members from the RBI.
And what does it do?
Sir, it defines the interest rate for the RBI and other banks.
Okay. Now tell me about POSH. What do you understand by POSH and when did it come into existence? It's an act.
Sir, I don't remember the year which came. Prevention of sexual harassment at workplace. It came after the Bhavri Devi case and Supreme Court guidelines. The government has formulated these law after the Supreme Court case.
Can you tell me which year?
Sorry, sir, I am not.
Okay, tell me about the highlights of this POSH.
Sir, I am not aware of it.
Okay, welcome. You have done the paper presentation at Gandhi and journalism. But on Gandhi, there are certain divergent views. Many people question that he was the sole leader, he was the main person responsible for India's independence. How do you see the role of Gandhi vis-a-vis other leaders of that time?
Sir, Gandhiji played very crucial role in India's freedom struggle. The first thing he have done the mass mobilization. Prior to Gandhi, the mass mobilization has not done at such a level. So Gandhiji through three revolution, 3 movement like non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement, and Quit India. So mass participation that has Gandhiji also get popularity, and people get idea about what Britishers are doing. Gandhi uprooted the deep root of British India through his magazines, through his journals, and through informing public about
it. Britishers left India independence on 47. What can be the reason of leaving India, granting India independence during those time, that time, 1947? Why did they do that, and what was their reason for leaving India?
So at that time, the Labour government come into power. That was favorable for India's independence. British was a declining power, and the US was an emerging power. So US pressurized British to free this country. And the third thing, the movement that cannot be controlled by the Britishers. We see that the Quit India and post the revolts in Mumbai and other regions. So that was the major region that Britishers faced and decided to end.
How do you rate Subhash Chandra Bose in the contest?
Sir, Subhash Chandra Bose played a very important role through his Indian National Army, and that made the British to rethink its strategy, and the contribution of Indian National Army was so immense that British thought that if the whole India get revolutionized in that way, then it would be very difficult to control India. So they decided to left India at the.
Okay. I come to a different topic. You might have heard of this old pension scheme and new pension scheme.
Yes.
Know the difference between the two?
Sir, old pension scheme basically based on the if you draw on your last salary, then half of its amount you get as a pension. In new pension scheme, you start contributing the day you join service, and your contribution is go with the mutual funds and other investing agencies, and on the basis of that investment and gains by the companies or market or bond, you get the pension according to your investment and the gain by these companies.
Okay. There is many states. Suppose you are posted in a state, and the state staff associations are pressurizing for reverting back to old pension scheme, and you have been given task to convince those associations that new pension scheme will be more beneficial. How you will convince them?
I will try to make them understand the benefits under the new pension scheme. So basically, in old pension scheme, you have a fixed pension, so you cannot either increase it or decrease it. But in new pension schemes, if the market returns are good, then definitely your pension is going to be higher. So prudent investment of your fund will be done by the government, and that will result into the higher pension as compared to the old pension scheme. So I will assure them the government will invest in the prudential manner so that they can get more return as compared to their old pension schemes.
Okay. Have you heard of China Plus One?
Yes.
What was that?
The China Plus One is a strategy related to industrial factories and industrial development. So companies are looking for diversifying their production unit. That mainly happened after post-COVID when the China was locked down. So many countries had to think about a new strategy where they can get their factories shifted. So they have shifted from China to Vietnam, China to Mexico. So it's a new form of deglobalization.
Okay. Now, don't you think that India has missed the bus? It was a golden opportunity for India to attract maximum investment. We have attracted some, but other countries have got much more investment than we ourselves. What is the reason of people the MNC, other companies are hesitating to make India as a center of manufacturing?
Sir, there are many reasons for that. First, we think that's a policy reform, like in this field of labor, in field of industrial policy investment. We have missed the worst initially. However, country like Vietnam has a more progressive labor reform, and company can get what they wanted to from that states, like Mexico, Vietnam, Bangladesh, where labor law is in accordance with companies' policy, so they can get the maximum benefit out of that. India has somehow lacking in the labor reforms, and investment, political instability was there initially. So these were the reason that company hesitated to invest in India. But now companies are attracted toward India, and we have seen in the recent past.
Okay, one last question. If I give a statement that UN has lost its relevance, what do you say?
No, sir. I beg, sir. I beg to differ. UN has not lost in either. We need more UN than the UN. So basically, it has lost relevance because the in world most populous country and world biggest democracy is not there. Yet UN is the only multilateral institution that has a universal membership, and it can countries respect the UN law, and they want to be part of UN and UN agreements.
Okay, but they are not able to stop any war. That is the major purpose of creating UN.
Sir, that's why India has always been in favor of reform multilateralism, reformed United Nations, where we need a veto reform, membership reform, and multiple reform needed to make UN more relevant than presently it is working.
Okay.
Neeraj,
Yes, sir.
Bihar is known for its history,
Yes.
ancient times. Why did this glory fade away in the medieval period?
Sir, initially there were, if we look in Janpada period, so there were 2 Janpadas in Bihar and their capital flourished in Bihar. Magad Empire also flourished in Bihar. Later on we see the capital has been shifted toward north in Uttar Pradesh or in Mughal period in Delhi. So seat of power shifted from Bihar to other states.
Seat of power shifted first, or low grade rulers started coming up in the Janpadas, etc. Because only when you have strong leaders, then they will shift away. The rule was earlier in the hands of the Biharis, which shifted away into someone else's hand. That is why the capital shifted.
Yes, sir. This was one of the reasons for the shifting of
Okay.
capital. But decline, I will say that decline happened because the capital shifted and people start moving from that. So urbanization declined and many other things. happened.
Patna College, Science College, was a name to reckon with even almost till the time of independence. Why did this lose its luster?
Sir, I am not particularly
Okay,
about the particular.
all right. You have done Sanskrit, I see, in your school.
Yes.
One Sanskrit phrase was very widely known during G20 meeting. You remember what it was?
It was Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam.
What is the original shlok from which it has been taken?
So it was taken from Mahapuran, and I am not able to recall the whole.
What Sanskrit shlok can you recite to me, what you remember, which is not from puja and other things, not from worship related things?
Sorry, sir.
Nothing. That's interesting. Have you read today's newspaper?
Yes.
What can you tell me about the most recent NAM meeting? Where was it held? What happened?
Sir, it held in Ghana, and a day before yesterday, our honorable foreign minister has given a speech to Ghana, and he talked about the.
How many heads of state had actually, what is the membership of NAM these days?
Sorry, sir, I am not aware of the.
How many heads of state attended?
Sorry, sir.
What did they say about Ukraine, Russia war or Israel-Palestine war? Anything significant?
Sorry, sir.
Okay. Why is journalism called the fourth state?
So journalism play an important role. It holds the 3 pillars of government, that is judiciary, executive and legislature, accountable to their duties. That's why it's called the fourth.
But is this the original reason why journalism was called the fourth state?
So it was one of the reason, but it was not an original.
What was in the original terminology, British terminology of journalism as the fourth state. What are the other three states?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware.
Okay.
I'm going to make a statement. I want your comment on that. The statement is that men have failed. Men have failed. Let women rule.
Sir, I beg to differ that we cannot say that the men have failed. But I support the second statement, let women rules, because we see the when women ruling with the more compassionate and more compassion toward people, more we see the more morality in the women rulings. So let both them
If
rule.
men had not failed as rulers, why do we keep having war after war after war? Why can't we show the same compassion that women can?
Sir, war has been a recurrent feature of international relations since.
That's not the point. Point is that why can't men prevent war? If women are more compassionate, can't we be compassionate?
Yes, sir.
So why don't we?
Sir, we are more inclined toward geopolitics, more interested in geopolitics. We tend to ignore some.
Geopolitics can happen without war also, can't it?
Yes, sir.
So then,
Sir, there are also reason like women have special boundaries with their children, and so they feel the pain of child and birth, and so they more aware of the how life is important.
that is why in the context of war, have men failed as rulers?
No, sir, I don't believe the man.
You still, all right. Now you have done something in journalism.
Yes.
There are two words I often see. One is Godi media and one is prostitute. What are these two words?
Sir, I am not aware of the second word. The first word, Godi media is a term referred to the referred by the left. It is a narrative against the people who are supporting.
Narrative by whom?
Narrative by the leftist and the other anti-national forces.
You are calling every leftist anti-national.
No, sir, but
You just said that.
Sir, basically this narrative against.
Answer me. Are you labeling every leftist anti-national?
No, sir.
You just said so.
Sir, few of the international forces were also there. So they want to project our media is not an independent media. Projecting them as
We
they
are,
say-
okay. What does the word prostitute indicate? Even if you don't know the meaning, what does it sound like? Prostitute.
Sorry, sir, I'm not getting it.
You have done journalism, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. In the last 2 years, global press freedom index, we are very, very low. Why?
Sir, I think, sir, what I believe there is a biasness in reporting.
Whenever an international report says we are doing great, there is no bias. Whenever an international report says we have a problem, there is a bias.
Sir, if we look into the indicators of press freedom index, so they say there is a not security of life for journalists in India. As far the data say very differently, and their rankings are done based on the survey, not on the correct figures.
Which data are you talking about?
This data is like killing of journalists in India. So they have ranked very low on that parameter.
Killing is too extreme. I am talking about day-to-day journalism. That our journalists in this country being harassed more than before? Yes or no?
Sir, I believe that our journalist is working more actively and more boldly in present time as compared to earlier time.
You believe that?
Sorry, sir. Pardon, sir.
You believe that, or you just saying it?
Sir, I believe that journalists are working more independently in present.
And why are we so low on the democracy index?
Sir, there has been a biasness in, with regards
Again.
to this index.
Tell me something other than bias. Tell me something new.
Sorry, sir, I am not aware of.
Thank you. NEERAJ, picking from where sir has left, journalism. So I think I'm assuming that you think media is reporting fairly these days. What will be your answer in one line?
Yes, sir.
Media is reporting fairly these
Yes.
days. Okay. What's the definition of this fair and unfair? What criteria?
Sir, fair based on the facts, data, and neutral opinions in the media. So I can say that that's a fair report.
Neutral opinions, you
Neutral
said.
opinions.
Which opinion is a neutral opinion?
Sir, opinion that based on the fact and data.
Based on the fact and data. Okay. Do you think journalism needs to be entertaining? There used to be a time when we used to have specific timing for news, not the whole day. Now we have so many channels working in the news media, and they have to show something. And do you think it should be entertaining? Just a general question.
No, sir, I don't.
It should not
believe
be entertaining.
Not be entertaining.
Okay. Journalism should be critical.
Yes, sir.
It should be always critical.
Yes, sir. It should be critical for the for who have who it seems that not accountable to the public.
Okay. And this journalism, it should be always free.
Yes, sir. It's
Not government controlled.
No government, sir. In present scenario, we need few controls, and in social media, we need some control. In YouTube, we need some control. In view of national security, sovereignty, territorial integrity of this country, because there are few reporting that are against our security interest. So we need some sort of regulation in those fields.
What kind of controls you are suggesting?
Sir, pardon, sir.
What kind of controls you are suggesting?
Sir, for that we need to analyze the videos that are creating misinformation, information warfare. So they are doing the fourth category of warfare, that is information warfare, giving misinformation to the public, creating narrative against the government or against the ruling party or against the opposition. So these should have been regulated.
Okay. Okay, my last question. AI in journalism. Do you think it will lead to more democratic, fair news or more biased news?
Sir, as far as AI is concerned, it's still developing. So we cannot say that because AI is already developing based on the data. So what kind of data language model it's getting from? Like we recently say the New York Times and AI debate, where it is said that AI ChatGPT has taken data from New York without it consent or so. These things need to be controlled, and AI and journalism is concerned. So AI have a progressive step in journalism. So, but it also need to be regulated in a fair and independent manner.
You haven't answered my question. It would lead to a more democratic news field or a biased news field? AI in journalism.
Pardon, sir.
AI in journalism, it will lead for a more democratic, fair news world or for a more biased world?
Sir, it depends upon how AI is working. So
AI is not only this lambda based. It's not only AI is not limited to language model. AI is more vaster than that, na?
Sir, if AI goes with its basic principle, then it will lead to more democratic media world.
Okay, thank you, NEERAJ.
Basically, how would you rate yourself? I'm asking you to rate yourself for this interview.
Out of how many marks, sir?
How many marks or how well did you do?
On the scale of 1 to 10 or something else?
Whatever, I leave it to you. It can be in percentage, it can be anything.
Sir,
and I'm asking you how well did you do?
Sir, on a scale of 10, I will rate myself 5.5.
Okay, I think you did better than that, and you're a better candidate than most others. So, at the moment, you don't know when your interview is scheduled, na? So
No, sir.
You have the time to improve.
Sir, this is my first mock interview.
Okay, that's good. And I like the fact that you were able to answer a wide range of questions. You were engaging with all the questions which were thrown at you. but try not to contradict yourself. See, what you are trying to do is you want to have your cake and eat it too. That is not acceptable. At times you have asked a very specific question, like our friend here asked you about women, should women rule? You wanted to have it both ways. You should not. When you are asked to take a stand, please take a stand and stick to it, right? That will get you more marks than what you are trying to have it both ways. That is not on. And please brush up on journalism, because you will be asked a lot of questions on journalism. Fourth estate, such an easy question you could not answer.
Prostitute is a word.
Yes, from prostitute.
Prostitutes.
So these are the questions where you could have done better. But overall, fairly satisfactory performance, I feel.
You're good, quite good. Keep on reading more and more and watching some channels, videos, international. With not many questions are asked on international things. You have written geopolitics as your
Yes, sir.
so be ready for this geopolitics and a very wide area. So you should be ready. Whatever you done in DAP, the question will be thrown at you. Gandhi, I took idea from DAP only. So be ready for that. But geopolitics is a very wide subject. So keep on reading. Some channels are there, YouTube videos are there. So please do that. Otherwise you are good.
संस्कृत के एक दो श्लोक याद कर लो यार. इट्स नॉट वेरी डिफिकल्ट. संस्कृत आपने लिखा है, कोई ना कोई तो पूछ ही सकता है. और दूसरी चीज़, यू वर नॉट ऑनेस्ट इन आंसरिंग क्वेश्चंस ऑन जर्नलिज्म. वन ऑफ द बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट्स ऑफ अ जर्नलिज्म ऑफ अ जर्नलिस्ट और जर्नलिज्म इज टू क्रिटिसाइज गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसीज. आपने कहाँ पे क्रिटिसिज्म सुना है? किस पॉलिसी का क्रिटिसिज्म आपने सुना है? सब कुछ तो पॉजिटिव ही बोलते जा रहे हैं सब चैनल. ये तो गलत है. इतना तो ऑनेस्टी रखिए. एज अ यंग मैन, एज अ लर्नेड पर्सन, इतनी ऑनेस्टी तो आप रख सकते हैं और आप यू कैन डिफेंड योरसेल्फ.
That is where I was trying to push you into.
इसीलिए तो प्रोस्टिट्यूट कहा जाता है. इनको पैसा देते हैं और ये काम करते हैं उनके लिए.
Anyway,
I think he was trying to be politically correct.
Correct. That is not required.
और leftist and anti-national चीजें साथ में
Shy away from saying these words, anti-national and all.
don't
That
make
was a
such
trap.
Such a sweeping statement is dangerous. Don't
Very
do that.
dangerous.
don't use both of them in same voice, same breath. Everybody who criticizes government is not anti-national. You have to see
Correct.
why he is criticizing, what he is saying. So
और यहाँ तो है कि अगर किसी गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसी को आपने अगेंस्ट बोल दिया, देन यू आर देशद्रोही.
तो सीधे सेडिशन में अंदर.
सेडिशन में हो जाता है. आई मीन दीज थिंग्स शुड बी लर्नड बाय यंग पीपल and should be aware that this thing is happening.
So actually the economy of media is actually a problem. Media become a business industry.
Absolutely.
And that's why the
You
reason
could have said that. You could have said that.
कहिए अभी.
So why didn't you say it to me?
You should have said it over here also.
सर ने सही कहा
It should
है.
be government controlled or free.
हाँ, सर ने सही कहा है. You were trying to become politically correct.
Yes, yes.
Which is not necessary.
Sir, I thought that these are the real issues we are facing as a journalist. So I work in media, so I seen that lot of control, government advertisement. Are you getting government advertisement or not getting? So that's become an issue. While writing editorial, you have to decide what the policy or what the government.
तो बोलना चाहिए था ना.
be candid ना.
Be candid. बात
So this is why they are called prostitutes.
Exactly. Prostitute.
आपने एक्सपीरियंस किया है, उसको बोलिए मैंने एक्सपीरियंस किया है.
Anyway. All the best.
All the best.
Thank
All
you.
the best.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.
बाप रे.